Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys are all doing well. So I thought this video would make an interesting topic because I recently fell upon a few people who I thought were being very hypocritical on TikTok because I've been a bit more active on that platform lately, just trying to get a feel for things and how the platform works. And I ended up comparing animal agriculture to the Holocaust, which some people didn't like. So I'm going to show you my TikTok and then we're going to get right into the controversy.
Don't compare meat to the Holocaust. Holocaust, destruction or slaughter on a mass scale. When you eat animals, you're supporting the Holocaust.
So the definition of a Holocaust is just a mass slaughter. And as you'd imagine, when trillions of animals are being slaughtered for food consumption and clothing and other things that we use animals for as humans, it's an undeniable fact that animal agriculture is in fact a Holocaust. So by definition, which is not the definition that I originally created, it is a Holocaust. This got a bit of backlash and controversy from the TikTok community and Jewish TikTok community as well. And the first person who responded was a TikToker by the name of Becky. I'm gonna play her TikTok right here.
Don't compare meat to the Holocaust. Holocaust, destruction or slaughter on a mass scale. When you eat animals, you're supporting the Holocaust.
So she basically just gave a funny response, basically sticking her tongue out and giving some gestures that was suggesting that I was wrong and I'm just a complete vegan extremist, as you'd imagine. So I started getting comments that I'm anti-Semitic, and that's basically just meaning that you're racist against Jews, which is completely false because I don't discriminate against anyone for any reason of that sort. If you go to my TikTok profile, you can see that it says equality. So that means I believe that all sentient life is equal. So she kept running in circles saying that I wasn't listening to Jewish voices or anything like that. I then left another comment saying, I'm against the Holocaust. Why aren't you against the Holocaust? She replied by making another TikTok basically mocking the suffering and death of animals.
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
So she's trying to counter me for being anti-Semitic while also promoting another Holocaust, which is a way larger and more occurring Holocaust. So there's another TikToker by the name of Frankie who decided to make a response video to what I posted.
I'm wearing my shirt today, don't you like it? Hello, this video is for a incredibly dense and ignorant 17-year-old and everyone else who liked that video. You just compared the genocide of murder that is the Holocaust to the harvesting of animals. The harvesting of animals. The harvesting of animals.
Yes, Frankie, I just compared the genocidal murder of trillions upon trillions of animals to the genocidal murder of millions of Jews. I like how you sugarcoated it, the harvesting of animals. What about the harvesting of Jews is what we should call that. You see how twisted that really sounds? So you just have to love how he just sugarcoated that. The harvesting of animals, What if I went along and said the harvesting of Jews? That's just a twisted and ignorant way of putting that. It's a Holocaust. By definition, it's a Holocaust. Call it what it is.
I am one to believe that every life has value, and I agree with you on that, sir. But it also means that human lives have value. And for you to devalue the life of those humans, not only that, but to then follow up by calling every person who disagree with you a Nazi and saying that if you eat meat, you are basically Nazis.
So he lied on me and claimed that I said that people who eat animals are just like Nazis when they are not like Nazis at all. I used to eat animals at some point, and that was because I was uneducated. Like most people who don't know about the horrors of animal agriculture, most people who eat animals willingly wouldn't agree with what goes on behind closed doors, but some just don't have the will to simply stop supporting animal abuse anyway. Now, if you look at it from the animal's perspective, okay, we're not looking at it from our perspective as humans, because when we look at it from our perspectives, it really promotes the idea of just me. So we have to look at things from a different perspective than just you, Frankie. Let's look at it from the perspective of the animals. Looking at it from the perspective of the animals, you're 1,000 times worse than a Nazi from the perspective of an animal, and that's something you cannot deny. But I myself did not say that you were just like a Nazi. The only reason you would say that is if you thought that you were just like a Nazi, and through the animal's eyes, you're just way worse.
You are incredibly ignorant, and I wish you the best in getting educated. Not only are you pushing people away from veganism, you are pushing people away from you because you are not a pleasant person to be around. I do believe that veganism is a great alternative, and that people have every right to do so. But sir, you are awful, and I wish you the best in educating yourself. Thank you.
So he claims that I'm uneducated. He also claimed that I was devaluing the lives of Jews by comparing them to animals. Now, let's think this through. I believe that all sentient life is equal, meaning a Jew is equal to that of an animal. I am equal to that of a Jew and an animal, right? So I'm devaluing something that I myself and other humans are equal to. So I would have to devalue animals. I would have to devalue myself in that same process because I promote equality. I think all sentient life is equal. Frankie, on the other hand, does not think all sentient life is equal. He has a human supremacist mindset and a narcissistic human mindset, and he thinks just because he's a human, it makes his suffering or any suffering of a Jew above the suffering of any animals, right? I don't know if you know this, Frankie, but Jews are not the only individuals who can suffer. Animals feel pain, they have feelings, they have emotions, they suffer as well. He also wrote in the comments that I said animal agriculture was worse than slavery as well. Yep, I would rather work in a cotton field being controlled by whites, me personally, than have my rabbits, who I love to death, over to a butcher and say, cut them up into pieces and sell them to someone. You're damn right I'd rather be working in a cotton field than sell my best friends to a butcher, a murderer, and then let them get slaughtered. So it's just funny because he's calling me out for being, anti-Semitic or promoting prejudice, right? But I'm not doing anything in my everyday life or at all. I've never promoted or said anything discriminatory to a Jew in my entire life. I boycott against the Holocaust. What went on is disgusting. But you pay with your dollar daily to have animals killed. And another thing I want to point out about his video is that he didn't point out the fact that my video showed the animal kill clock for the United States of America, which is at 4 billion. It was at 2 billion at the time of my video, 2.5 billion to be exact, have been killed in the time of that video in the US this year in 2021. Already 2 billion animals in the US alone. And he completely ignored that. Looking at a few of Frankie's other videos, he's also a feminist. He stands up for women's rights, and I respect that. I really respect that as a black man to another black man. I myself am a feminist. So if you're truly for the rights of females, Frankie, why do you pay the dairy industry to artificially inseminate cows, which is basically raping them? Because like children who are under 18, they cannot give the proper consent to that type of activity. So by definition, it is still rape. And then 9 months later, when that baby is born, he or she is stolen from them, causing them to distress and pain and scream out because they form really strong bonds with their babies. That's what you support every time you give the dairy industry your dollar. So there's really no way to truly be a feminist if you're not vegan. How can you be against the exploitation of women, but you're eating women? Or does it only matter when it's a human? Because if you say that it only matters when it's a human, then you're not for the justice of women. You're simply for the justice of human women, which would then contradict yourself and make me take your movement less seriously. While you may think you have your mind in the right place, you're contradicting yourself every time you sit down to eat. So to close this out, I want to offer a live discussion or debate on Instagram Live to either Becky or Frankie because they had a huge problem with what I posted. And you can explain to a vegan audience why it's wrong to compare animal agriculture to the Jewish Holocaust. So the offer is on the table. If you guys really think I'm wrong, then here's the opportunity to prove I'm wrong in front of other vegans and in front of your own fan base. And just have a friendly discussion about it. So with these type of things, it's easy to just off-put somebody else's opinion and say, my opinion is the only one that matters. But if you really want to discuss this topic, I'm interested in that. So drop a comment, contact me, email, social media, Twitter, Instagram. and we can discuss this live for everybody to see. So I hope this video was worth your while. I hope this video maybe gave you guys some better output on, the way we should word things. We shouldn't sugarcoat injustices. We should just say things as they are. And that's always what I'm gonna do as someone who truly promotes equality. Twinkle is looking at me crazy while I'm talking in front of a camera. I promise you, Twinkle, I'm not going crazy yet.